Okay, so I just feel like I gotta keep making apology videos and making amends videos because I'm really doing stuff wrong here. I'm really not seeing this situation with the sensitivity or with the foresight or insight or hindsight that I should, but I'm pretty upset and I'm pretty shaken because I have just seen verifiable, undisputable proof that Shane Dawson is a big predator. He has some videos that he has tried to hide that are now leaking. And in the videos, you see him holding hands with a child and him taking off his clothes, and the child taking off their clothes in front of one another. And Shane dancing in a very provocative way. I don't know what to think. I mean, I know that there are predators everywhere, but I can't believe this would happen and this would be allowed on YouTube. And to say that it was just a different time, I don't think we can keep giving that excuse for what you are about to see. Trigger warning for what you're about to see. This is very severe and I don't like showing it, but I feel like I don't have a choice because the truth needs to be said on this matter about Shane being the world's most disgusting predator. So, with that being said, there are 2 leaked videos you're about to see. Please watch them from start to finish because one doesn't seem as bad, but the other is when Shane starts to take his clothes off and seduce a child and hold the child's hand. He starts holding the child. It's disgusting. And I don't know what to say. So let's go ahead, let's take a look, and you guys can see for yourselves.
Okay, so I'm still here at Shane's with... Oh, Trevor, you haven't been to my vlog. Can I introduce you?
Yeah.
There's Trevor!
Hi, guys!
Look how cute he is. Oh my gosh, I just want to, like, eat him up. He's so adorable. He looks like Prince Charming.
That's me.
You're so cute. But he's not as wholesome as it, like, he comes off to be. He's a little, like, saucy.
Saucy?
Saucy and sassy.
Saucy and sassy.
Sassy and sassy. And what's the thing? We're going to start. What's the thing where you say me? Just, I want to explain that real quick. Because I'm going to start saying it in all my vlogs.
Okay, because, like, I'll be like...
So Shane just had some chicken. Shane just sat down and he's like, oh girl, what you eating? And Shane's like, oh, I'm eating some chicken. And you said,
It's like, me, bitch. You just say it. Like, it doesn't even have to be, like something like you would do. Like I told him, I was like, if you see something, like, insane in the street, like, probably on drugs, I'd just be like, oh, me. There's really no, like, if you look on Urban Dictionary, it's not gonna say shit. Like, no one knows.
you started it then? It's your thing?
I wouldn't say it's my thing, but, like, everyone says on Twitter, like, literally it's like, search me on Twitter, and it won't even be, like, the actual word, it would just be, like, everyone saying, like, me.
At Trevor Moran. Me. At Trevor Moran. And you said you're gonna start you.
Oh, bitch, I'm starting a better one. Because he said, oh, if you're walking down the street, you see a crackhead, and you're like, me. Well, I said, what's even better is if you're walking with somebody, you see a crackhead, and you say, ah, you, bitch. You, bitch. That's even better.
I'm like hanging with YouTubers, Trevor and, oh my god, I was gonna say Ricky, Shane.
What the fuck? I love him, but what the fuck?
I know. Well, actually, I feel cool. Like, with Trevor, I feel like I can vlog. Like, Ricky, I felt like, oh my god, I was so intimidated. But, like, Trevor's, like, my homeboy. I love it. And he was like,
We love you.
No. Totes love Ricky, but...
Well, Ricky was just, I think Ricky was a little nervous. Because we were also at your place.
True.
There was pictures of you everywhere.
A little sexual tension. Oh,
Wait,
yeah,
is
naked
there
pictures
really?
of me. Yeah. Good thing you didn't come to my house.
A really, like, cool rock band. This is the results of our, video on my channel. It's the the Facetune challenge.
Oh my god.
Living. First of all, I did the best. This is mine, and I made him
did
look
not.
the prettiest. Yes.
Look at it, the phone even turned off.
It's like, I can handle it.
I made you look so good.
No.
Yes, I did.
I think
That's
Shane's is the best.
No. Yeah, you the one you did of Shane is the best.
You did?
Yeah. That is, like, on. That looks realistic. Mine looks like a cartoon character.
Yeah. But you came straight out of, like, animeporn.com.
Yeah, living for it, though.
Cool. You
Love
can have
it.
a macaroni and cheese. He looks
He looks like Macaulay Culkin.
Like a macaroni and cheese, like, logo person.
That could be you. You remember when that had the contest? Like, this could be you on the macaroni and cheese box. Do you remember when they had those contests?
That's me.
Submit it, bitch. Are you recording? Don't. You're really up angle of me.
Hey guys, it's me, Trisha.
You said my name right. That was good.
What? Trisha Paytas, right?
Hate that word. I hate it.
Hey guys, it's me. Fuck. Yo,
I look
man.
fat as fuck from that angle. I'm having issues. I'm having insecurity issues at the moment.
Insecurities.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, great.
This is American Idol, but gayer. Hey guys, I'm here with...
Wait, we're starting? Bitch, hold on. Hold on, turn this off, girl. Trevor.
Closer to the light. Yes, bitch. And Trisha's back there. Say hi.
Hi.
So Trisha's gonna be the judge, and me and Jeff are gonna be the performers. Now, it's our dream, our life's mission to be entertainers for you guys.
Okay.
So we're each gonna sing a song and do a performance. Trisha's gonna judge us. We're gonna get her reactions, her natural reactions, and her judgments. And then one of us is going to win the title of biggest
X Factor YouTuber.
X Factor YouTuber. Boom. All right, you wanna go first?
Bitch, no. I gotta be the finale.
Okay, bitch. Well then, go sit back there, cause I'm about to slay.
All right, guys, because I don't want to have the monetization be stupid in this video. You can clearly see here, Shane is starting to dance very sexually for a minor. And I mean, it looks like he's going into camera, but he's really not. And I don't know what he's holding there, but if you see this, there we go. Boom, he is taking off his clothes in front of a minor. So I guess this is supposed to symbolize some sort of like American Idol sing-off or an X Factor thing they're doing. I wish you guys could actually hear it. Shane's performance is actually decent and it's pretty funny. That's why everybody's laughing in the background, but he's being really inappropriate. Took his clothes off in front of a minor. Now he's taken off his necklace in a very seductive way. And yeah, you can tell he's just really trying to seduce a minor because that's exactly what we're looking at. That's exactly what's happening. There is no other context to this. It couldn't be just they're imitating singing shows for comedy. That could not be what any of this is.
Wow.
Wow.
I would just like to say that I blacked out for a minute, and I don't really know what just happened, but I'm just gonna say, I think it was magical, and I don't know if it can be topped, but let's see if it
But
can.
can it though, bitch?
All right, next in this, they act like it's a singing show. We'll see he's put blankets on himself, but we're just going to go ahead and say that that was part of his clothing. And now he's being very dramatic with it and teasing whether or not he's taking it off. And you can see both Shane and Trisha, they look very happy about this. I mean, Shane looks shocked, but Trisha looks like she's really enjoying watching a minor take off their clothes or whatever garments that they have on. He is singing something. I don't know what it is. I just don't want to get copyright struck. And see, it looks like, and there we go. The minor starts being seductive to the adults and Trisha is smiling, which means Trisha is a predator who is really, and look, you can see Shane smiling, so both of them are being predatory because it couldn't be that they're all just being silly and doing jokes. Those aren't even laughs. Those are extreme smiles because you're seeing two predators be predatory towards a minor. Whoops, there he goes. Clothes are off. It is full inappropriateness. You can see him dancing in a way that looks seductive to the adults, and you can see even though Shane looks like he's hiding and covering his mouth, you can tell they're both just very happy because this is a minor doing these activities, and Trisha is just so happy. Look at all the smiles. At least Shane is trying to hide and looks embarrassed at times. Trisha, look, and they're cheering him on. They are cheering on the minor doing these activities because they're all predators.
Was that a shocker, bitch?
Girl, yes, bitch, yeah!
Wow.
Well, you guys go. Those are the two performances. Now we have to go to our critic.
Clinic.
Trish, what are your thoughts?
So, Shane was the first to go, and he knew all the words, which totally impressed me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know all the words because it's like fucking 3 years old.
Yeah, and his dance moves were on fleek. Like, they were totes matrix. He improv on fleek. And of course, the shades and the microphone, it just made me feel like I was watching Trevor Moran perform. Then we go to Trevor's performance, and Trevor picked Shane's song, which right away I was like, bold move. But I was excited. I was like, okay, super love, throwing it old school. And I will say, he didn't know all the words, but these sass, the gyrations, the movement, the hip. I mean, he slayed. Like, in every sense of the word. Like, I was just like, yes. And you improv, you took your own liberty and went the da-da-da-ah, like that thing. You just did your own thing. And I was like, yes, making it your own, as they would say on American Idol. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough decision.
All right, well, here we go. This is the moment of truth. This is what we believe. We'll get up here. We need to do the whole Kelly Clarkson, Justin Guarini, you know,
Wait,
like,
shut up!
holding each other. Okay, and the winner of American YouTube
X Factor Idol
is... That's when you're supposed to say it.
The winner is Trevor.
No!
No! What, bitch? I thought you did way better. Here, take my trophy, bitch. Take my trophy.
Honestly, I deserve this lemon pound cake candle.
You just blew it.
I'm blowing it out because I'm blowing away all the basic bitches and claiming my prize. No, you won fair and square.
No, I did not.
And, you know, we will see each other at the reunion show.
Oh, when we both audition next year again. Oh, there's gonna be a better singing show for like when we go irrelevant. We're gonna go on it.
Exactly. Well, I hope you guys have fun hanging with us. We have fun hanging with you. Go check out Trevor's channel. We did a video over there where it got, I don't know, even weirder.
Yeah.
And go check out Trisha's channel where she gets weird too.
But that's a given.
Alright, guys, we have fun with you. Wow. Bye.
Okay, no time. Let's dive in. The first video. Trisha says gyrations and talks about a child's sexual dancing. Shane holds hands with a child, and Shane takes off his clothes in a seductive dance. The child takes off his clothes and dances sexually for two adults for their entertainment. Trisha says she wants to eat the child. After talking about, you know, that he's cute and that he's handsome, she says she wants to eat him. Shane shames a drug addict. Trisha invites a 16-year-old to her house and mentions the risque photos of her everywhere and talks about there being sexual tension in front of the child. And child mentions porn, and Trisha says she is living for it, the porn. Those are some pretty damning allegations across the board to Shane and even Trisha, isn't it? It's interesting how you can take some clips that could be fun and lighthearted and really turning it into something disgusting. And I think it's interesting because Trisha, while trying to out these things as though, look, Shane's a big old predator, look at what he's trying to hide, I'm actually seeing Trisha do worse things than Shane. So something as innocent, literally as innocent as we're going to have a fun little sing-off, the same kind of thing you would see on American Idol, right? Well, Shane took his clothes off. He took his jacket off. And then he whipped around in a real sexual manner and his necklace flew off. So he was taking his clothes off in front of a child, wasn't he? And then the child, who puts blankets on themselves, then takes the blankets off. And that's derobing them. Well, isn't that taking your clothes off? I'm seeing so many ridiculous, it's been leaked and it is confirmed, so-and-so is a predator. And I'm seeing it on both sides and I'm going, what happened? How did people lose their way socially in society where context doesn't matter? Like, we have these singing shows, right? The X Factor. I don't know, is American Idol still a thing? It was and it wasn't, it might be again, or I don't know, and then COVID, but you get what I'm saying. We see these things all the time where people go on there, they'll be in risque outfits, or sometimes they take off a piece of clothing because they're trying to get into the song or something. But I just think it's funny because people are trying to act like, look how predatory these two are being. And I did a video, please go check it out, my last video, where I talk about this. And I focused on what Trisha was doing. And people were saying, oh, you're being so biased. My point was, everybody says, these videos, Shane's a big old predator. I'm like, well, what about what Trisha does? This video is to show you it's all crap, in my opinion. Now, do I think Trisha and Shane are sexual predators? No. From everything I've seen, do I think that? No. And I have a video that's going to come out because I've heard people say, yeah, but Shane kissed a child on the mouth. Do you guys know that Carrie Underwood did the same thing with a 12-year-old? Thank you, Mysterious T. She brought this to my attention. Go check out her channel. She's got some interesting stuff. Mysterious T brought this to my attention. Carrie Underwood in 2012 gave, I think it was a 12-year-old kid, his first kiss on stage. CNN did a little piece about it and they all applauded how cute it was. When I say it was a different time, even as of, that was 9 years ago, I swear to you, it was a different time. That would be looked at as more a sweet, innocent gesture. I'm not saying I agree with it, and I think there should be huge boundaries in the time we live in now because we know better. We were still a society that was waking up to predatory behavior. So I think taking everything Shane used to do and assigning the new rules of society that weren't around at the time in the same context then is unfair. But if Trisha wants to come for Shane and say now he's a big old R-word, and he's a big old predator, and he's all of this, well, the logic applies to her. And she put these videos up that Shane asked her to take down because Shane knew they'd be taken out of context. And she thought, okay, this is going to show the world. You know what it shows? If Shane's a predator, then she is just as guilty because she stood by and watched while she says certain things happened and she joined in. How is it okay? Why isn't Trisha getting canceled for touching all over a child's bottom, getting into his underwear, talking about sex? And you know what, in these videos that I just showed you, Trisha was doing more talking in terms of sexual stuff than Shane. It's interesting how taking something out of context, putting in a headline can spin everything. Shane holding hands with a child. That's what remember, you guys have seen it with these reality shows. The last two people are there. Even before that, they all hold hands on stage. Miss America, the two girls held together holding hands. Doesn't mean anything. Now, I don't know Shane, I don't know Trisha. I know Trisha, I've interacted with Trisha, and she's not been nice to me. I've interacted with Shane, he's been nothing but wonderful to me. But I don't know these people. So I can't sit here and definitively say so-and-so is or is not a predator. Just like you guys couldn't say that with me. I couldn't say that with y'all. We don't know each other, right? However, with that being said, like, I'm not going to sit here and take things so far out of context and assume and ruin somebody's life about accusations over situations that people either don't understand, time frames of the world that people don't understand, or sometimes intentionally take out of context because they want attention. I think some of the younger generations, they can't understand it. And you know what? I'm compassionate to that. But I think some of the older ones, they just want anything to harp at. Because I've seen people my age with drama channels jumping on this without any thought, oh yeah, Shane's awful. If Shane was so awful, why was it so popular? Why was it allowed to get so popular if it wasn't such a different time? Do you see what I'm saying? If it was such a different time and everybody was aware of the same stuff we were about predatory behavior, then how could anybody, YouTube or even celebrities, why had nobody spoken up about this? And why was he allowed to get so big? It was popular and he didn't get banned and nothing happened because it was considered a edgier form of comedy. And you know what I see when I watch these videos? Yeah, we can sit here and say there are things that are inappropriate. I absolutely agree. But for the time period, I see three people who are friends or friendly, hanging out, being silly. That's what I see. Now again, I'm not going to sit here and say, I don't think adults should be treating a child that way, or a minor. I don't at all. All I'm saying is a different context. Let me give you some for instance. When I was 15, I dated a guy that was 18 and a half years old. I was a freshman and he was a senior. And I remember there was a lot of disapproval, but you know what it was? It was more like a taboo thing because it was allowed. I don't even think that was legal. I don't think. But it was allowed. I'd have to check. It was in Missouri. I don't 100% know what the laws were there. But it was allowed. And that was on and off, that relationship. I met him. He was 18 and a half. I was 15. And that was on and off for 2-3 years. So it's interesting because this guy even lived with me for a few months. And he was a mess when I was a junior in high school. I met him when I was a freshman, when I was a junior. And my mother allowed this behavior. My mother allowed me to date somebody like that. My mother allowed a lot of predatory behaviors around me. I learned and grew up quickly from that. I have story times, I'll tell you, about certain people at some point. But it was disgusting. And I look back now and I'm just like, how on earth? How on earth? And on top of that, this guy was a bad guy. This is a guy that ended up using me, cheating on me. He was into substance use. And he would put me in situations I now see were dangerous, put me around drug runners and really dangerous people and situations. And I was 15, 16, 17. I was naive and I had no clue And my mother invited this in to our home. I can't imagine at my age where I could have children, probably won't because of my situation, and allowing that for my child. When I say it was a different time, it was a different time. And you know what? Even though most people wouldn't allow their daughter's boyfriends to move in, it would have been looked at as taboo, but nobody would have been like, that's predatory, call the police. Let's go press charges. Let's go out it on social media. Nobody would have looked at it that way. They would have more looked at it as, you shouldn't do it, but nobody actually had the thought or the depth as to why. And I'm not saying all people didn't, but the majority of people, because we weren't trained about this. We didn't understand this. The boomers didn't, and my generation, and the greatest generationers didn't. Like, you guys want to know what I knew about predators and the sex talk? I was told, you know, whenever you need it, you'll get on birth control and don't come home pregnant or you're kicked out of the house. If that happens to you, you have no choice but to get rid of it. There's not even a give it to somebody option. That's how I grew up. And that's how a lot of people grew up in that time frame. So I'm not going to sit here and give you guys excuses. I'm telling you the reality of this is what it was like. I don't think either Trisha or Shane are predators. And that's my point. From everything I have seen about them, and if there's stuff I'm missing, send it to me. But from everything I've seen in the timing and the context of the time, I don't see this being necessarily predatory behavior. I see this as silliness, as shock value, as we can argue maybe inappropriate, but it would be more looking at taboos or pushing boundaries, which is what so many people did back then. And I've consistently said it and I'll say it again. A show like Jack blank SS. Do you think that would have gotten popular today? No. Why was it so popular? It was popular for like 10 years. Why? Why was it so... They had movies. Why was it so wildly popular of doing crazy and offensive, horrible things? Why was it so popular? Why does Hollywood still get away with a lot of racist things they do with casting, with movies? Hollywood still does it. We hear it all the time. Because the time we grew up in was very different. Because my generation and some of the other generations stepped up when we got social media and said, hey, we've got new technology and power and we can give voices to the disenfranchised. And the more that happened, the more we learned about racial issues, about poverty, about inequality, about predatory behavior. And so thus, over the last 10 years, society has gone on a shift to change. And I know people will say, well, this was in, 2014, 2015? Wasn't that long ago. You'd be surprised how much social media has changed us. I want you guys to go look at a film on Netflix. It was mind-blowing. It's been saying what I've been saying for years. It's called The Social Dilemma. It's all about how social media is reprogramming us how to think and behave in a society. It's kind of scary. But this is, if you want to find out how we could change in even last 5 or 6 years so drastically, that will explain it. It will explain why everybody is so divided and ready to go to war politically. It's scary, but I also think it's necessary. It's necessary to understand we've been programmed and manipulated. And as somebody who lived in that time and was very cognitive and an adult in many of those times, I'm telling you, these behaviors were looked at on some level as acceptable, which is why Shane was able to go as far as he did doing offensive content. It was just looked at as, oh, that's offensive. And that was it. People didn't think anything about it. It's offensive. Okay, they don't like it. They don't watch it. They move on. And Shane has learned and grown. Shane has made apologies. Shane has taken down content. And what did Trisha do? Trisha actually put up content showing her predatory behaviors. And where's her apology? Where's her cancellation card? And I'm not saying she should be canceled. I'm saying I don't think either one of them should. I think we should have some compassion for the fact that we grew up as a really rough and tumble generation that was do or die, make it or break it. You got to grow up and be an adult pretty quick. Most of our parents are divorced. And even if they're not, just to make it, parents are both working. You come home with a key in your hand and you babysit yourself for 2 or 3 hours. Sometimes you're making your own dinner at 6, 7, 8 years old. We didn't get a lot of therapists or a lot of counseling or a lot of people that gave a crap about anything. Women were constantly subjected to male harassment, and it's our fault. You guys we grew up as a society where we taught our women and our men, but specifically our women, we really targeted it to them. If you don't have the appeal that you are emaciated and that you are starving to death, you are ugly and you have no worth in society and you should feel shame all the time, stop eating and do unhealthy practices. It was pushed on us all the time. You cannot understand what we grew up in unless you were there. And it's sad. That's sad to me. But, unfortunately, it is what it is. And I just want to be a little voice of reason that looks at this and says, I get it. There's stuff that's inappropriate we wouldn't do today because we know better. But at that time, I think these were just friends that were giggling together, friends that were doing silly, stupid stuff together. That's how it would have been perceived then. We even hear Shane when Trevi was like, you never invite me over. And he's like, 'cause you're 16. Isn't that a statement in his favor? I just feel like we just have taken so many things out of context. So many. And I feel like we should allow forgiveness. You know what? Trisha did some horrible behavior on this as we would see it modern day 6 years ago. Let's forgive her. Shane did some stuff that's inappropriate and questionable. Let's forgive him. How about we forgive people and we allow them to be better people? But here's the kicker. Shane's apologies weren't enough, and Trisha hasn't even made an apology for the videos she put up. She put these videos up trying to hurt Shane. All the while, she's outing her own predatory behavior. Is there any apology? No. Does anybody care? Nope. Because popular narrative is on her side. The cool kids are on her side. The narrative is on her side, so nobody cares. She can get away with anything. But the pendulum always swings. You guys hear me talk about this. You know, a pendulum, it's like you have the string and you have something on the end, like a little weight, and it goes back and forth until it goes to the center. And because Trisha doesn't have balance with her emotions, she is empowered. She is in her, I'm going to just out somebody, be destructive kind of bully mode. And she's going to do something and cross the line somewhere with her inflated ego. And everybody's pumping her up. The internet, the people around her like Ethan and Hila. And we're going to have another swing. When is it coming? Because it always does, because we so easily forgot a month and a half ago. She quit Frenemies in the most disgusting way and put out as much information as she could about Ethan, Hila, and their family. And Ethan and Hila's issues to begin with were about her putting out information, which I have a video from yesterday where Ethan is arguing with her when she quit and said, you use information against people to weaponize them. But it's okay to do to Shane because we threw a target on his back and we can make some money off him and profit, and I think it's gross. I don't want to bully people for money and profit, yet Trisha doesn't take the dirty money. That's what I wanted to say. If you like this video, please help me out. Give me a big thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification button if you're new and you want to see more content like this. Also, leave a comment. What do you think? Do you think I'm spot on here? Do you think I'm off base? To me, this just looks like, I feel like we're in a consistent situation of how do I even say this? Of just social common sense being dead. But I also can't blame a lot of the younger generation, and I also can't blame certain people. Like if you were a parent watching this, I'd understand why you'd be upset, right? But can we remember the context of the time? That's all I want to ask. And can we be forgiving with people? Because trust me, I have done so many things, so many dark humor type of things in my life. And you know what? I still do a lot of dark humor in my life to cope. I'm not going to put that on the internet because I realize that people are more sensitive to that, and that's fine. Can we be compassionate and forgiving? That's what I wonder. Can we do that? Can we allow people to grow and change? I don't know. We'll have to see. And I guess that's up to society, but I know how I'm going to live, and I want to be somebody that allows people to grow and change, because otherwise we have outrage for the sake of it. It's just outrage culture for the sake of outrage. And that creates a counterculture full of real predators and real racists who go, well, might as well not change because people are going to hate me no matter what I do. There has to be an incentive to be better. And that's where I think forgiveness comes in. But at the same time, you don't have to forgive him. I've said for a while, if you're a minority and you're upset about what Shane did and how he represented you, I get it. I get it. You don't have to forgive him. But I feel like as a whole, we have to provide some level of some type of forgiveness to people. Otherwise, as I've said before, if you cancel Shane, you need to cancel a whole few generations of people who watched him and supported him and liked that content. How do you cancel millions of people? If you can let me know in the comments, great. How do we cancel the millions of people who liked this and supported it? How do we cancel all the parents who were like, this isn't that bad, and let their children watch this? How do we cancel that many people? Do they all stop working? Do they all lose their jobs and just have to sit and rot? for the rest of their lives? Explain it to me. Alright guys, I'll put more content up soon. Take care, blessings, and I hope you like the vids. And until the next videos, as I always do, I'm giving you guys lots of love and wishing you hugs, mwah, and kisses. Bye guys.